K-State is right by Fort Riley there at, what is that, Junction City? Is that where that's at in Kansas? So it's all right there together. And, growing up, so so you're rodeoing at some of did you ever go, have you ever rodeoed in a rodeo that like you went to as a kid now at this point, or no?
Yeah, actually it's cool that I'm at K-State now, because we used to, every year, we'd go down to the K-State rodeo when I was a kid, and we lived at Fort Riley, and I always, like, growing up, I always did want to ride bulls. Like I said, I just never got the chance, and I always wanted to be there at K-State and rodeo there, and it's cool that, I guess God always has a plan, because I ended up rodeoing at K-State, and since I started right in the middle of the school year, when I did go down to K-State, the K-State rodeo is actually my first college rodeo.
Really? So that's like a full circle thing. That's neat.
Yeah.
It's funny, like we always tell God, hey, I want this and this, and I'd like to try to do this. And, sometimes I guess that happens, but sometimes God tells us what we're going to do.
Mm-hmm.
So, college bull rider, what's that like? What's that all about? Like, tell us a little bit about like what it's like being a bull rider, like going to different rodeos. How many rodeos you get to go to a year?
College rodeos, there's 10 rodeos per year. They split them up between the 2 semesters, and you have those 10 rodeos to try to get in the top 4 in your region to make the college national finals in Wyoming. But I mean, I go to a bunch of other rodeos too. I go to MRCA's and URA's, which is the Missouri Rodeo Cowboy Association, and United Rodeo Association. I go to a bunch of those. I go to Amped Up Pro Bull Ridings, just a whole bunch of different stuff. Just Double B Rough Stock Association. I go to just about everywhere I can, just trying to get on as many bulls as I can to get better and better, and just keep working at it. And that's not even including all the practice bulls and stuff like that you get on.
That's good. So you're just using the same kind of hard work, determination you use in athletics to go off and put that to good use as this. So so what's your long-term plan? So you can't be a college rodeo person forever. What are you going to do when you're done with all this? What do you aspire to be someday?
Well, after college, I'd like to buy either my PRCA Pro Rodeo card, or and start going to some of those, or I'd really like to get my PBR card and start hitting some PBR events and trying to really get good at it. And
just keep chasing your dream and see what happens, huh?
Yeah.
That's exciting, man. That's exciting. That's so many people out there who, for whatever reason don't. Like they're afraid, or they don't have the self-confidence to do it or whatever. Like, you didn't grow up a rodeo. You liked rodeos and you went to rodeos, but like, there's like certain people that are rodeo people. Like they come from people who have done rodeos their whole life. Their dad did rodeo or whatever, and you're not even one of them. So why? My whole point of this video series is to try to get people to understand that if you got a dream, you just got to go get it, and just go. So what makes you tick like that? What makes you want to be so determined to go get it? Have you figured out what that is inside, or?
No, I've just kind of, I guess I've just always kind of been like that. I've never really been scared to go out and try stuff. And if there's something I love to do, then I go do it, and I always want to try to be the best at it. So I just keep working hard and try and make it work no matter what. Just keep pushing until I make it happen.
But what if you're doing it? Have you had any setbacks with it so far? A lot of people are like, well, I'll try it, but if something bad happens or something hard happens, then they give up. I know that you went straight to rodeoing right out there at K-State after a brief time at Kawasaki. Have there been any setbacks since you started?
Yeah, my second college rodeo, I drew a real good bull, and I got thrown way up in the air, come down, land on my head, dang near knocked me out, couldn't get out of the way. He come around, stepped on my riding wrist, broke my wrist, second college rodeo. That put me out for the rest of the college rodeo season, and then I just had to try to get back into it that summer. Still couldn't, I was working over the summer. I wasn't real good at bull riding yet. I hadn't been doing it for very long, so I couldn't go to very many. So that set me back a lot. And then about the time I come back to K-State and start getting a lot better and getting back into things, my truck got stolen with my gear bag in there. So I had to work and I had to get all new gear and just restart and keep going at it. And I knew it was all worth it and that to keep working, because the first bull I got on with my new bull rope after my gear got stolen, I was 84 and a half and 1/3. So
That's a heck of a ride. So tell us, so when you ride a bull, a lot of us, and I didn't know until recently. I'm 35 and I didn't find out until going to watch a rodeo. So how does a person get judged on a bull ride? How does that work?
So you don't get to pick your bull. You show up there, and when you pay your fees, they'll tell you what you drew. And half your score comes from how good the bull is, and how difficult he is, how hard he bucks, spins, that kind of deal. And then half your score comes from the rider, so how well you're in control, how good you look up there. Like, you don't want to just be flailing around everywhere, hanging off the side, whatnot. And then if you're spurring, you can get some extra points because it shows just how in control you are. So say you usually get 2 judges, but just to make it simpler, just say there's just one judge for whatever reason. Your bull bucks, you got to make it to 8 seconds, obviously. You make a qualified ride. He marks your bull. Well, we'll go ahead and say there's 2 judges because that's what there is.
Okay.
Judge 1 marks the bull 20 points. Judge 2 marks the bull 20 points. That's 40 points for the bull. Judge 1 marks you 21 points. Judge 2 marks you 21 points. That's another 42 points. So you add those together, and your score is 82 points.
82 points. So that's how it works. So a lot of people don't realize, and I didn't, that half your points are for the dang bull.
Yep.
So like you see somebody go out there and ride it perfect, and you think, oh wow, that guy did great. But maybe his bull was just really easy, And so it's interesting. I didn't realize that half those points were for the bull.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us about, like, okay, so I've had the pleasure of going to 2 of your rodeos. I think I've been to 3, haven't I? I think I've been to 3, or is it just 2? I don't know. I've been to 2 or 3. I can't remember. And I've got to go to the back, which is really exciting because you get to see all the stuff that happens once you get to the rodeo, like a bull rider. So what are some of the things that happens, that you do, from the time you get, out of your truck until the time you ride your bull?
So you show up, and first thing you do is you want to go pay your fees, find out what bull you got. I like to take my gear bag back there behind the chutes and find a good spot and hang up my bull rope and stuff, and then I like to go find my bull so I can figure out, if I know him or not, or how big he is, because you got to adjust your bull rope knot to be able for your rope to fit the bull and be tight. And then I like to go ahead and put the rosin on my rope, which is the sticky stuff, helps your hand stay in there a little better. And then at a lot of them, you'll have intros, so you got to get your shafts on and everything, and they'll go out there, call your name, go out there, and you'll do the national anthem and pray and everything. Then, if it's a rodeo, you're just kind of sitting around waiting until the bulls are getting loaded. About the time the bulls get loaded, I grab my rope and, put on my shafts, grab my vest and helmet and everything, and take my rope over and wait for my bull to get run in and put my rope on him. Then I finish getting ready, get my glove on, put my vest on. Then when they run up your bull in the bucking chutes, it's time to get it on your mind and get ready to ride. And then you just you slide down on your bull. You'll warm up your rosin, make it sticky. Put your hand in the rope, have someone pull it real tight. You wrap it over your palm, back around the back of your hand and back over your palm, and then slide up and nod your head and make a bull ride.
Let's go, boys, and then there you go, right? I mean, I tell you, it was cool. Like, bulls are big and it's intense, and I got to be the guy to yank that rope tight, and I mean, it's tight because I was pulling I thought I was pulling it tight. You're like, yank on that thing, you wuss, and I was like, all right, fine. Jerked on that thing, got it real tight, and yeah, I mean, it was intense. I mean, it's just like what you see on TV, and it's cool, and that's neat. So again, you know, part of like we said before we wrap up, part of like what we said was, you know, the point of these videos that we're making, the point of this channel, Kicking It with Coach Webb. I know it's like a new hobby for me, and it's fun and all these things, but I don't really want to do it unless we're going to get some good out of it for somebody. So, you know, I've got students out there come from all different backgrounds, some really great with, you know, great parents and everything. And I've got other students out there that come from, you know, they're fighting for everything they got, you know, every little thing. What's something that what's any piece of advice you'd give my kids about going forward in their life? You know, they're at that time where they're going to pick things, and what's any advice you'd give my kids that would just, maybe they could take with them if they watch the video?
I'd just tell them to don't be afraid to go after whatever you want to do, no matter what it is. You're growing up, how you grow up and what you come from doesn't have to dictate what you do with your life. You can go do what you want to do, and just don't be afraid to fail at it. You're probably going to face some setbacks, and you might fail at first, but just keep trying and working hard, and you'll get there.
You'll get there and make you happy. That's some great piece of advice. This has been one of my favorite. I have some other video people to interview that I'm really excited about, but this has been one of my favorite ones. I'm so proud of you. I can't wait to see you ride some more bulls and, you know, grow up and do whatever it is you're going to do with your life. But I appreciate you being on my channel, and hopefully we put together some good video footage for you, and it should be great, man. Thanks so much.